The FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. buzzed with activity on a bright morning in May 2025. Kash Patel, the newly appointed FBI director chosen by President Trump, was preparing for his first major press conference, a pivotal moment in what had already been a controversial career. At 45, Kash Patel had built a reputation as one of Trump's most loyal and aggressive allies. Of Indian-American descent, he carried himself with confident swagger, known for fiercely defending the administration and attacking critics without hesitation. His press officer, Sarah Mitchell, informed him, "CNN wants a live interview this afternoon. They want to hear about your priorities for the FBI, especially regarding international operations." Adjusting his signature red tie, a clear nod to Trump, Kash smiled confidently. Perfect. It was time to show the world how the FBI would operate under his leadership. No political games, no hesitation in defending U.S. interests. But little did he know, halfway across the globe in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, someone was watching with a very different agenda. President Ibrahim Traoré, 36, one of Africa's most respected leaders, was reviewing intelligence reports in his office when his communications chief, Major Dabo, approached with a serious expression. "Mr. President," Dabo said, "we have new intel on the U.S. FBI Director, Kash Patel. It appears he plans to escalate surveillance operations across West Africa, with Burkina Faso high on the list." Ibrahim raised an eyebrow. "What kind of operations?" "Our sources say Patel wants to build a surveillance network targeting countries he deems problematic," Dabo replied, cautiously. "But there's more concerning his family, secrets he'd rather keep hidden." Curious, Ibrahim took the confidential folder Dabo handed him and began reading. His expression grew sharper by the minute. Very interesting indeed. At CNN's Washington studio, Kash Patel sat confidently before the cameras, fully in his element. Anderson Cooper opened the interview. "Director Patel, how will you use the FBI to advance President Trump's national security agenda?" Patel leaned forward, bold and unyielding. "The FBI, under my leadership, won't tolerate threats to American interests, wherever they come from. That includes African nations that think they can challenge U.S. hegemony without consequences." "Anderson, you're referring to anyone specific?" Anderson pressed it. "Leaders like Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso who believe they can ignore American interests and get away with it," Patel said coldly. "It's time for a firmer approach." Back in Ouagadougou, Ibrahim watched the broadcast with calm interest, flanked by his advisors. "So, Mr. Patel wants to get tough with us," Ibrahim said coolly. "Very well." He grabbed the folder of documents, then ordered, "Connect me to CNN. It's time to educate this new FBI director about reality." Moments later, Anderson Cooper received an urgent message mid-interview. "Director Patel, we have President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso on the line. He'd like to respond live." Patel blinked, caught off guard, but quickly straightened his posture. "Bring him on. Let's hear what he has to say." The screen split, showing Patel in Washington and Ibrahim in his presidential office, the Burkina Faso flag behind him. "Thank you for mentioning me on American television." Ibrahim began smoothly. "It's always fascinating to see how some Americans view Africa." Kash forced a smile. "President Traoré, I'm always open to frank conversations about international security." "French conversations, you say?" Ibrahim smiled knowingly. "Let's be very frank then." Leaning forward, Ibrahim's tone sharpened. "Director Patel, you accuse African countries of challenging American power without consequences. Yet your own ancestors fought British colonialism in India. How is your family's fight for independence different from Burkina Faso's fight against neo-colonial interference?" Patel faltered. "That's different. The geopolitical context now is, Ibrahim interrupted. Before we continue, there is something about your family we should clarify. The atmosphere in the CNN studio shifted. Patel frowned. My family? What does that have to do with foreign policy? Ibrahim's smile vanished. Everything, especially when it comes to honesty. He stood, walked to his desk, and retrieved a red folder. Patel's confidence wavered as Ibrahim addressed the camera directly. You've built your career attacking immigrants and supporting harsh immigration policies. Yet here are documents proving your father, Mahesh Patel, overstayed a student visa in the US and only regularized his status through a marriage of convenience. The color drained from Patel's face. There's more. Your mother was reportedly paid $15,000 to participate in that marriage, purely for immigration purposes. The studio was stunned. Anderson Cooper's voice was low. Director Patel, how do you respond? Patel stammered, that's private information. Irrelevant. Ibrahim pressed on. Irrelevant. Your own family repeatedly violated immigration laws you claimed to uphold. Why hide this? Patel's discomfort grew. Ibrahim continued. Your uncle Rajesh Patel worked for a British mining company in Kenya during the 80s and 90s, a company known for exploiting African workers and suppressing unions through intimidation. Patel paled further. We have reports showing your uncle's involvement in brutal tactics that led to at least 7 deaths among Kenyan workers. And yet Ibrahim said, you received significant money from Rajesh after his death, money that funded your political rise. Patel's hands trembled. I had no part in that. Did you or did you not regularly receive funds linked to your uncle's operations? Ibrahim challenged. Patel was silent, sweating under the scrutiny. Ibrahim displayed scanned bank documents. $127,000 transferred from Rajesh Patel's Kenyan account to Cash Patel's American bank in 2019. Is this misinformation? Ibrahim asked calmly. I want these documents verified, he added. Or better yet, let Director Patel provide his own 2019 bank records to refute them. The evidence was irrefutable. Patel's facade cracked. Ibrahim's voice grew firmer. Your hostility toward Africa is personal. You justify your wealth, built on exploitation and silence, by demonizing African countries. Patel's panic became visible. This is a witch hunt, fake news, foreign propaganda. Ibrahim shook his head with a hint of pity. Shouting won't change facts, and there's more. He revealed emails from 2018 showing Patel's attempts to cover up his uncle's abuses by silencing families of deceased workers, spending tens of thousands on legal fees to bury the truth. Patel began sobbing. Please, my family, my children. Ibrahim's voice softened but was resolute. When African families begged for justice, your family paid to silence them. When workers died, your family covered it up. Patel's breakdown was complete. CNN security and medical personnel rushed in as he shouted, I'm the FBI director. I can destroy you. Ibrahim remained composed. Director Patel, are you threatening a foreign head of state on live television? Are you aware of the consequences? Patel realized too late the gravity of his words. Ibrahim concluded the broadcast directly to millions of viewers. Transparency is the foundation of true leadership. The man you saw collapse today was entrusted to lead the FBI, a man whose wealth is stained by exploitation and deception. This is why we must hold our leaders accountable. In the days that followed, the revelations exploded globally. The White House announced it was reviewing Patel's position. Major news outlets confirmed the document's authenticity. Patel resigned, vanishing from public life. Kenyan families, armed with Ibrahim's evidence, launched legal actions that eventually secured millions for victims, funding schools and clinics in memory of those lost. The scandal transformed US FBI appointments, introducing rigorous background checks on family and financial ties. Ibrahim Traoré's bold move became a global symbol of truth, defeating corruption and power.